All right, friends, it's T-Mun. We're back again with another video by our good friend Jason Blaha, the Strength Fitness guy, Baloney Channel Fitness, the gym, lifting, recruiting, fitness gear slave himself, Jason Blaha. Well, he looks really interesting here on the left in this picture, doesn't he? Look at him. Wow, that's not that. If that's steroids, I'd want my money back, because steroids are supposed to create an artificial cosmetic look, and they don't seem to be working for blah.
I actually use low carb diets a lot of times, but I still think the carnivore thing is insane. Hey, everybody, it's
I eat some low carbs sometimes, but I think the carnivore thing is very insane. What are you talking about? Everybody's carnivore. Everybody in the world is eating meat. Well, maybe except for India. I don't know what the hell they're doing there. But they are eating some meat, actually, to tell you the truth. That's what I found out. Statistic-wise, just very low. But yeah, the entire world is eating meat. If you don't eat meat, you'll die. It's kind of obvious. You'll have a deficiency in amino acids, and you will die. So how can people be insane if they're carnivores and they eat meat? That makes absolutely no sense. Laha's a carnivore. He eats meat. And then he says, well, if you're carnivore, you're insane. I guess he must be insane. Look at that bald head.
Jason Blah here, and I thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today. And this is one of those where the people who follow this really strange cult, they, number one,
I love this one. It's this people that follow this strange cult. But Blah lives in the most artificial world. Look at this. What is this lift, man? This is a funny lift. His boobs are coming out. The boobs are hanging, bro.
act like those.
This is the most... okay, have you ever seen anybody in nature lift a weight? Like what Blaha's doing here. So he says the most insane is carnivore. Well, what the fuck he doing, man? He's insane lifting a weight in the fucking gym, bro. In a garage, sorry. He's locked himself up away in this prison called the garage, lifting artificial man-made metal off the floor, bro. So who's more insane?
Us who say this are not extremely well versed on nutrition or don't have lots of experience.
Oh, they're not versed on nutrition. They don't have experience. You mean like Abby Sharp, where she says, well, a carnivore diet is unhealthy because lack of vitamin C, you're going to get scurvy. You're going to get scurvy. But let me get this straight. But the vegan diet and the vegan compilation, they're all complaining that they've got scurvy, but there is vitamin C. So what's causing the scurvy? Because I've never seen people that just eat, let's just say, elimination diets, right? These elimination diets. Because there's no such thing as carnivore diet. It's not a diet. You are carnivore. So you're eliminating. And so you just eat like a certain amount of food. So these people, they've just decided to break it down to meat. And then they just start eating animal products. Okay, I've never seen anybody eating an animal product that came on and said the carnivore compilation where they're suffering from, scurvy. There's not one video that's out there, but there are hundreds of videos of the vegan compilation where they're suffering from scurvy. So if it was true, it was a vitamin C deficiency, right? Then all these so-called, what he calls carnivore, these elimination diets on carnivore, they would be dead. So why do people quit vegan diet? Because it's not based on health, bro. It's not based on health. It's based on saving the animals. And so they suffer from scurvy because a lack of amino acid. Because it's a known fact that plants lack amino acids and other nutrients. So it's a combination of the lack of amino acids and other nutrients that are in there. There's a lack of it. There's also no B12. But, you know, the vegans are always going to talk about B12. There's more than just B12, okay?
And don't know how low carbs work or any of that. And it's such a strange movement. Or like, you should just try it.
How do low carbs work? Nobody ate carbs before out in nature. They never existed. There's no such thing. They ate carbs. There's no carbs out there.
Like, I can look at basic biology. I can look
What basic biology? You're talking about in the artificial world. I'm sorry, Blaha. I'm sorry to break this to you, your small brain, but Walmart didn't exist, bro, out in nature back then. You get it? You understand me? All these things, they didn't exist. Pasteurized milk, pasteurizing milk, that only came about 100 years ago, you fool. You understand me? And as far as cooking, that too, cooking and pasteurizing, that's a new thing, something new for people, new and improved, I guess, right? But blah is going to make you think that we evolved cooking, so we have to cook now forever.
A basic understanding of nutritional science and realize it's a horrifically bad.
Yeah, I just proved it, nutritional. Look, man, I'm smarter than Abby Sharp. It's kind of obvious. You look at the experiences that are online. Go to the vegan compilations, right? 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22. 20. It's the same thing over and over again. They're all suffering from scurvy. What's the scurvy? Lack of amino acid and other particular nutrients. Has nothing to do with vitamin C. And when you see people that are this so-called, what he calls carnivore diet, I call it elimination diet, just eating animal products, are not suffering from scurvy. And if anything, they say they got better. You understand me? Here's the funny part. They all are complaining about getting better. But the vegan compilation, they're all complaining about what? My hair is falling out. My teeth are falling out. I have no energy. My pee-pee's gone. You get it, bro? So their complaints are what? That they're suffering from what? Scurvy. What's the complaints of this so-called carnivore cult that Blaha calls it? Well, they're all complaining that their problems went away and they're so healthy and they're getting younger. So it's kind of obvious, right?
Idea. Okay? Like, I don't need to try crack to know that it's bad for me. Like, but you'll feel.
That's a good one. I don't need to try crack to know it's bad for you. I don't know. Maybe you do. How do you know it's bad for you?
Really good for a little while. You'll feel better when you smoke crack. Like,
how would you know that? Did you try it? See, he's fabricating that. Oh, you will feel better if you smoke crack. Well, he just said he's never tried crack. So now he's trying to give you a false experience, bro. That if you smoke crack, you'll feel good for whatever is blah, blah, blah. I don't know that. I don't know what you feel on crack because I've never tried it. And neither has Blaha, I think.
That's almost how it sounds to me. Just try it, right? They literally.
Why, have you tried it, Blaha? Are you on crack? You take crack or something?
Sound like a drug dealer or someone who's a drug addict. Just try it.
Just like everything else, Blaha, how should I put it? Blaha lies about his abilities as a lifter. He says he has all this experience and everything, yet he doesn't even know the real science, the real lifting modalities, what builds muscle, bro. Get it? Eccentric exercise. You understand me, man? He doesn't even know how to build myofibulars. He doesn't know anything. He just spews swirl. He's like, hypertrophy. We're doing hypertrophy training. We're hypertrophying. Hypertrophying what? Getting an inflammatory response, lifting 6 days a week in the garage, bro? Come on, man. You see how stupid this is?
I feel really good, you know.
Yeah, you feel real good. Yeah, sure.
Someone who's a drug addict. Just try.
Somebody who's a drug dealer, drug addict. You know how many people used to write me in my comment section? They used to tell me, no, you have to work out like this. You have to do this, that. You got to do the Mentor program and all that. How would you know what program works if you never experienced it yourself? See what I mean? They're like, and then you get these guys, I'm going to write you a fitness program. There's all these guys like online right now. I've done some videos on them, these slaves. And they're like, they're doing programs for 40-year-olds. They're like, I don't know, they're like 19, 20-year-olds trying to build the channel, trying to they're trying to tell 40-year-olds how to work out. Oh, I'm going to design you a program. A program? It's not based on their experience or anything like that. So it's going to fail. See what I mean? And they have no proof their program's going to work. Want to know why? Because it's fake. They wrote it up. It's not based, like I said, it's not even based on experience.
You'll feel really good, It's like, the reality is.
It's like Blaha's lifting here. You know that? He's going to try to convince you that powerlifting is going to build a muscle. Concentric exercise will build a muscle. And he will go to his grave. You understand me? With stubbornness, being so stubborn to the fact that yes, concentric exercise builds muscle. And he will, like I said, he will go to his grave doing that. He will continuously fail at building muscles concentrically because concentric exercise actually is associated with the loss of sarcomeres in series, bro. Get it? And so he will continuously fail on this channel because I'm building a muscle, bro, lifting concentrically. He thinks that powerlifting and bodybuilding are the same thing. So he could carry over his shitty fake powerlifting to bodybuilding and bodybuild concentrically in bodybuilding. But bodybuilding is based on building your body. So if you're building your body, it's based on the principles of what? Eccentric exercise. But if you're performing in a sport like powerlifting, it's based on concentric exercise. You understand? Because it doesn't interfere with sportive performance. It compromises sportive performance bodybuilding because it's based on eccentric. All science will tell you that eccentric exercise compromises sportive performance because it causes muscles to damage. Duh.
Unfortunately for them, one, there's a lot of problems with the real data.
Those boobs.
Number two, I know people who have had massive problems from following these sort of diets, literally as would be predicted.
I love this. These people, they have massive problems following these diets. Well, I don't know anybody suffering who's eliminated all these fake foods and are just eating animal products. They're not suffering. If anything, they got better.
By the research.
I got better.
Their negative effects.
I'm going to tell you the truth. The moment I completely cut out everything, every fake food, fruit, vegetable, and fake processed foods, guess what? I'm so much better. Here's the thing. I had done what I did an experiment on my old channel. I was doing an elimination diet. Here's the thing. I got rid of all the processed foods. Then I just ate fruits and vegetables and meat. But what happened was the fruits and vegetables, I had to compensate for the lack of processed foods. So I ate more fruits and vegetables along with meat. But the fruits and vegetables, they destroyed me. Get it? They fucking destroyed me, bro. Holy shit. Even Simon and I, we're still talking about it to this day. Yeah, it fucking destroyed us, caused us a lot of problems. So my instincts kicked in because Simon asked me, what happened? Why are you eating meat? Because my instincts kicked in, bro. I was dying. My body said, you're dying. And I eliminated the fruits and vegetables. That's what happened. Because one day I woke up, I felt bad, and I just kept feeling worse and worse. So I got rid of it. And guess what? I'm just on animal products. And oh my God, I'm better than I've ever been in my entire effing life, bro. Get it? And I'm still learning to eat. I have a feeling you're definitely not supposed to be eating eggs because out in nature you would be eating eggs all day, and eggs could contribute to aging. All right, they're not good. The chickens today, they eat shit and they're pumped up with hormones and inoculations and shit. They're garbage. So I mean, even beef is definitely great, is king, but the organs are better. But I think fish, marine life, is even better. Why is that? Because I have a friend that I've known for a couple decades, and they just eat marine life, fish. And this woman, bro, I'm telling you, she has not changed. She has not aged. She does not have a gray hair on her fucking head. She is not aged. And when she looks at me, she says to me, oh my God, you aged. You know, you have some gray hair, this and that. And I'm thinking about it. Maybe it has something to do with marine life. Because in her fridge, she never ate animal products or anything else. She just ate marine life. Because she said she was from a coastal place. Like a coastal town. And so they just ate marine life there. And so she was used to eating marine life. She didn't like eating meat or anything like that, or any fake foods or fruits or even vegetables. So how could she be surviving so long just eating marine life and being so healthy and looking so young? Because obviously it must have something in there. It has something to do with omega-3 something. I don't know.
We're very much in line with it. And what these people don't understand, it's not about, hey, steak is bad. Like they always make it about the steak and eggs are bad, you know.
Here's the thing.
The people who
I don't know what is in the beef today. They're inoculated. They're domesticated, and they're tolerating eating these grains. And who the hell knows what else they're feeding them? Corn and shit. So the animal that you're getting today is not a natural wild animal. See what I'm trying to explain to you? And my friend had told me that too, and I didn't listen to her before. She said even fish, even if the fish is farmed, they have to eat plankton. They have to do a certain thing. But the alternative, eating fish, is so much better than eating these products, these animal products, because they're so abused. She said, and they're eating the wrong food and do a bunch of stuff. But she still buys wild fish. You understand? She doesn't buy farmed fish. She said there's still nothing wrong with farmed fish, but she eats wild fish, bro. She eats wild stuff. So yeah, you understand? They're not inoculated. The fish and everything, they're not. How should I put it? They're not inoculated with these fucking hormones and giving shots and everything and eating the wrong food and stuff like that. They're out in the wild. They're collecting them out from out in the wild. So they're much more natural.
On the other end are saying that, but they're not necessarily saying that. We need to be clear on that. When you look at a lot of the data, particularly like unprocessed red meats, in the context of a bad diet,
Yeah, listen to what Blaha is saying. Unprocessed red meats, processed. They put what do they put? Nitrates on your meat. A lot of meat is processed. What you're buying. See what I mean? And like I said, it's being fed an unnatural diet. It's being inoculated with all kinds of inoculations.
most sports nutritionists and registered dietitians and researchers actually don't think it's a problem. Okay, that is something that again, they want to argue about science, or they'll try to claim science bad somehow. But that
Okay,
is
so what do you call people that just eat marine life then, Blaha? Pescatarians? Is that unhealthy too? Okay, let's categorize this. So Blaha says carnivore diet is unhealthy. Okay, what about pescatarian? Let's say people that just eat marine life. Natural marine life, not inoculated, not farmed, nothing. Natural wild marine life, bro. Like wild Alaskan salmon. You know, they swim upstream, whatever. They're low. They have very low this so-called mercury bullshit, whatever. People eating sardines. You know, there's no mercury, mackerel, stuff like that. The good stuff, wild, blah. So is that unhealthy too? Would that be unhealthy?
what science is showing.
See what I mean? What would make a carnivore, so-called carnivore diet unhealthy? What would make it unhealthy if they put nitrates on it? Plant nitrates from plants. What else? Inoculation. What else? Eating these artificial diets and a bunch of stuff. See what I mean?
a pretty large growing body of evidence showing that in the context of a balanced diet, red meat isn't unhealthy. Okay.
Red meat isn't unhealthy. It is unhealthy if it's an abused animal. Now, what would make vegetables and plants unhealthy? Well, they have their own defense mechanisms. These fucking oxalates and arsenic and cyanide and yada yada yada, polyphenols, lectins. Okay, that's unhealthy. Okay, what else would make a vegetable and a fruit unhealthy? Well, they spray them, right? With what? Oh man, glyphosates, phosphates, I don't know, a bunch of weird stuff. Okay, a bunch of whatever these fucking pesticides. Okay, so that makes it more. That even makes it more unhealthy on top of already it being unhealthy. Okay, let's see what else. What about these processed foods? What makes them all unhealthy? Well, they're filled with sugar. That's unhealthy. You don't want glycation. What else is in there? I don't know. There's chemicals in there, preservatives, additives. They put stuff in, bro. It's just garbage. These processed foods, bro. They put corn in everything. Corn syrup, corn. I don't know, man. It's just garbage, and the carbs convert to sugar in your body. There's more glycation. I mean, people eat so much carbs today, it's insane, and then they wonder why they're deteriorating faster than they're aging.
I eat red meat. Right? I eat steak.
Yeah, Blah eats steak, but look what it's done to him. He's probably eating some fucking nasty steak, the cheapest one on the market.
I eat leaner red meats. Yeah, it's normal. And I don't think it's a problem. I follow a lower carb approach.
Yeah, but it can be a problem if the animal's abused.
there's pretty decent evidence for certain benefits of lower carb approaches.
You gotta love this, man. What is this? This blah stuff is funny.
Right? So this is a case
Blah.
of, if we're going to argue about data, and argue about science, well, you can make a case for certain benefits to lower carb diets. We can make a case for with
What are the benefits? You're getting rid of this glycation, bro. Get it? And a bunch of other stuff, man. Diabetes and possible diabetes and a bunch of other things. Accelerated aging, DNA damage, Alzheimer's, and who knows what else. And cancer, yada, yada, yada.
scientific evidence that red meat can absolutely be part of a healthy, balanced diet. Okay?
No, it's based on an elimination diet. Christ.
This is called being reasonable, not being an extremist. The problem is they're extremists who they ignore all the research. And,
They don't need the research. Their instincts and their experiences are telling them they feel good. It has nothing to do with research. The fake research is made for people to steal your money. All right, dude?
push this silly stuff like, well, oxalates are bad, fibers are bad, anti-nutrients are bad. This has all been
Yeah, they are bad. He just run off a bad list, and then he said, oh, these things are bad for you, oxalates and everything. Oh, that's just like he just said. Didn't he just say that crack was bad for you? Oh, but I know. Yeah, it's good for you. Is that it?
addressed by the leading researchers. The leading researchers and experts have addressed all this stuff. They're like,
They've addressed all the toxins and poisons. So what did the researchers say? They say it's okay, you could consume some of it, but just not a lot of it. Is that it? So you should poison yourself a little bit, but not a lot.
this is not actually true. And
What's
they're
not
like,
true?
it's true in a certain context, but that's not the context that most people do.
I love this. It's not true. It's true, but not in the context. Okay, yeah.
So in other words, most of the problems with anti-nutrients that people are concerned about go away when you cook your food.
Oh, yeah?
Again, it's almost...
I love this one. When you cook your food, these antioxidants and these poisons and shit, they go away. They don't go away. They don't go away. They lower, but they don't go away. They're still there. He's the liar.
as if, guess what? It's almost as if humans are cooked food omnivores.
No, cooking is new because I think it had something to do with the plants. They were making them sick, so they started cooking the plants. They started fermenting, cooking them and everything because they realized their instincts told them making us sick. And so then they started cooking meat for some reason. Maybe they thought, well, maybe the meat will make us sick too. But maybe that's because they domesticated the meat. And meat could have, at the time when they domesticated these animals, they passed on diseases. Because animals don't belong corralled in these small areas. They can't, if animals are confined like human beings, that's why disease spreads. It spreads like wildfire. That's why we started having SARS. That's why we started having COVID. And it'll probably keep going eventually. Who knows what? So we've already had plagues throughout history. We've had all kinds of black plague, this and that, whatever, when humans are confined to small areas together and they start, whatever it is they're doing there, shitting, peeing, it's a dirty environment, whatever. People are a lot cleaner today, but it's still just as bad. It's not as good either. But like I said, that's what the problem was. They probably started cooking the meat because they were scared they might get something like mad cow disease or something because they domesticated these animals and they realized they were getting sick.
Exactly like our evolutionary history appears to be.
No, our evolutionary history, when man roamed free on the land as hunter-gatherers, they ate the animals without cooking them because they weren't farming them. And when they farmed them, that's when problems started, which probably was what? I don't know when people started farming. 2,000 years ago or some shit, whatever. You get the idea.
Okay? Vegans love to argue against that.
What is this? What is this? This blah again. Yeehaw! Blah!
Other people love to argue against. All these groups love to argue against that. But that is what the data overwhelmingly shows. We as a species have evolved as cooked food omnivores.
We have not evolved as cooked omnivores, bro. We have not evolved. It's kind of obvious why they cooked it. He just admitted it. They cook it to lower the toxins in the fruits, in the vegetables, and whatever else. So he has admitted, number one, that these vegetables, these carbs, vegetables, they're all unhealthy for you. He's admitted it. He's like, well, they eliminated it cooking it. No, it doesn't eliminate it. It lowers it, but doesn't eliminate it. See what I mean? And meat, domesticated meat, can get disease and be passed on. So they cooked it only because they were scared they didn't want to get sick.
We don't handle raw meat very well.
Yeah.
A lot of
Can you eat pork raw? Yeah. You can eat pork raw. Can you eat chicken raw? Yeah. Are you going to die eating it raw? No. But if the animal was a sick animal or some shit, you definitely are going to get sick. Or if it was not treated well, let's say it was touched by humans, they put their hands in there and shit, and they touch their ass, and then they touch your meat. Yeah, you may get sick the way it's been handled.
vegetables we don't handle very well raw. Meat very well. A lot of vegetables we don't handle very well raw.
We don't handle raw meat very well. We handle it quite well, providing it's clean. We don't, and he just admitted it. We don't handle vegetables very well. Okay, so what do? So what do people do? They cook them, ferment them, or whatever, and they still can't handle them.
And I'm not going to get into all.
If you're getting an inflammatory response from eating these foods, it's kind of obvious. There's something going on there.
All the nuance of that. This is stuff I have talked about in depth in the past of how all of this has affected our brain capacity and everything else historically. Like there's massive amounts.
How has it affected your brain capacity? I'll tell you how. So at some point we became aquatic. We started living close to water. We were aquatic, and we fished because it was a lot easier. They're available. Marine life is available all the time. If animals aren't around or something, or if you can't get any, you're not going to starve. So what are you going to do? Eat marine life. So when we started eating marine life, our brains increased in size. That's really how it increased. Well, I could say too as well, wild animals, they're high in omega-3. So I would say that marine life with a combination of animals, wild animals, our brains grew big. That's what happened. Yeah. Give us intelligence. But probably more from the marine life.
Supporting data to this idea. This has literally been part of our development.
But here's the thing: is our brain shrinking? Why are they shrinking? Well, we don't eat very much. I don't know. There's some people eating marine life. There's still some people out there eating it. I don't know who's eating it or where. But the omega-3 in animals today are quite low because they're grain finished or whatever. So it's quite low in these domesticated animals, bro. But anyways, can you get it from seafood? Yes, but you're going to have to eat a lot of seafood.
Our larger brains being specifically cooked food omnivores.
No.
Meat and plants being cooked.
No, okay. Law's making this shit up. He fabricated that.
Our GI tract.
Did you see the way he looked there?
Everything about us shows that we pretty much developed to do this. This is what we're supposed to do.
We're developed to do this? It's unnatural. We're not developed to do anything unnatural. What are you talking about?
Eating. So these people lose sight of this with the anti-nutrient thing, and they're not realizing tons of the quote-unquote anti-nutrients actually have health benefits.
What? Anti-nutrients have health benefits? How can something that's anti-nutrient have a health benefit? Really, Blah has really lost it.
A lot of the absorption issues, not a problem in the context of dietary sufficiency and cooking these things and other stuff, right? So you start looking at a lot of the bioavailability of minerals and vitamins that are concerned of these things blocking, and then you find out, oh, it's not really a problem.
Okay, whatever, Blaha.
Not really a problem. We just have to eat sufficient amounts of the foods.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, the dietary deficiency concerns go away when you eat enough of the foods and they're cooked. Done.
Okay.
Done. I personally don't even really take vitamins. I don't need them. I get dietary deficiency through a balanced whole food omnivore diet.
He what? There's no deficiency in animal products. There's no deficiency in nutrients. What are you talking about?
Right? So they go into this crazy stuff. The same thing with fiber, they're anti-fiber. Yet they ignore the data on low-fiber diets. Like a low fiber will hurt you really badly. They'll argue, well, only for people who consume carbohydrates.
I love this. Low fiber will really hurt you. No, you can't digest fiber. It's not a nutrient. It's not anything. He's crazy. Fiber, if anything, fiber will hurt you. It'll clog your stomach and stuff, your intestines. It's anti-nutrient.
Well, no, that's not actually true. Again, such a reductionist statement. No, low fiber diets cause all sorts of problems with your gut flora, which in turn affect.
What are you talking about? If you can't digest fiber, go eat your cotton T-shirt and see if that works, Blaha. You say you can eat fiber, so go eat some cotton, see what happens. Blah is nuts, man. It's worthless. Fiber, that part of the plant, the fiber, is worthless. You can't do anything with it. You can't digest it. You can't do anything with it. Okay. Wow.
It's brain chemistry, neurotransmitters, your immune system.
Okay.
So following a really low fiber diet long term is going to have serious consequences that are not always reversible. And
what are the? Oh, it's going to have long term consequences. I guess I'm dying tomorrow because I've eliminated all those things. But I feel better than ever. Jesus.
What a lot of the carnivore people pushing this are not realizing. They're not understanding.
Yes, what are they not understanding or realizing? They're pushing this. That they should become unhealthy again by eating fucking fiber? Is that it?
You're not going to have these problems for a few years, maybe.
What problems are those that you won't have for a few years? What are they?
First year. You get 4 or 5 years into this and you follow an ultra low fiber diet, then you're like, man, now I'm just as unhealthy as people in the average American diet. Just maybe not as fat, but I have all these other problems. Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's funny how he just keeps hitting the carnivore thing. What about people that eat fish? There's a lot of fish out there in the world. A lot of people just eat fish. So why aren't they dead, Blaha? They don't eat any fiber. They don't eat any vegetables or anything. They don't even eat meat. They eat fish all day. They eat marine life. They eat shellfish. They eat lobster, crab. They eat, I don't know, marlin, whatever. They eat mackerel. They eat all kinds of fish, bro. Salmon steaks, yada, yada. Shark, I don't know, dolphin. They eat everything. So I don't know what you're talking about. How do Eskimos survive up there? They're eating fucking whales all the time. Whale blubber and whales way up north somewhere. You know what I mean? So how are they surviving, these so-called Eskimos, eating fucking marine life? They haven't died. They're not suffering.
And again, I wouldn't have an issue with certain aspects of the carnivore if they cut out the stupid stuff like the bacon and the butter, garbage refined foods, provably so with good data. They have negative effects on the body. When people argue about butter being a health food, I know that they're a complete moron who doesn't read studies and doesn't understand the concept of processing of foods. They've never studied dairy and why whole milk is healthy and butter is not. They have not looked at the harm.
Yes, please do tell us, why is whole processed milk so healthy and raw milk not so healthy for you? Something natural is not healthy, but let me see. Something that's processed, cooked the shit out of is healthy.
Data. Okay? And you can tell it shows.
The data.
If they got rid of this garbage, hey, let's not eat bacon and butter and let's add some vegetables. Let's add some.
Yeah, okay. Let's not eat bacon and butter. Let's eat vegetables. Because, we're good little slaves.
Avocados and some broccoli and some spinach and some
Okay.
peppers to our steak and eggs. Hey, whole milk is great.
That's probably what's developing his physique. These broccolis and avocados and things. That's what's creating his beautiful, sexy physique. See what I mean?
then I wouldn't have a problem with their cult. It's the problem is they cut out the stuff that they need. They literally cut out all the cardio protective and health protective and
I understand. Blaha has a problem with them because they won't eat slave food diet, get it, and support the system by eating it. So to Blaha, it's a cult. It drives them nuts that these people will not eat carbohydrates and these stupid vegetables, these toxic vegetables, and they simply just want to eat natural food, meat, animal products. So that's driving Blaha crazy. Why does he really care? Maybe because he wants them to buy it, to contribute to society, to give their money away.
anti-cancer foods that they need to offset any risk of this.
Anti-cancer foods? What anti-cancer? If they're fucking toxic, they're what's causing the cancer, you dumbass.
Saturated fat. That's what people forget. Saturated fat absolutely is a problem.
How could saturated fat be animal fat? Saturated animal fat be a problem? You're made up of cholesterol, you dumbass. Your cells.
It's that other parts of your diet will basically mitigate the problems. In other words,
this is a nice arm exercise. Watch this.
You can eat a lot of.
Look at that beautiful arm exercise. Attaboy.
Saturated fat in the context of the right diet, and you won't see the negative effects on your lipids, atherosclerosis, or anything.
Sure.
They cut all those.
Sure, you won't.
Foods out,
Yeah.
And then deny that the elevated LDL causes atherosclerosis. This is a problem.
Man, if you have low cholesterol, you'll suffer a heart attack from low cholesterol. You never get a heart attack from high cholesterol. You get it from low cholesterol. You could die if your cholesterol goes even below, goes to zero.
This is a problem. The only thing
statins were developed for the purpose of killing people, killing them off. That's the whole point, to get rid of you. Once they realized, they said, well, you're eating too healthy. You have very high cholesterol. If you have high cholesterol, it's associated with longevity. So we can't have that. So we have to give you a statin to lower your cholesterol. And then everybody who took these so-called statins, they're all dead because it lowered their cholesterol and then they died. So even these inflammation or anti-inflammatory drugs. So you're suffering from inflammation, right? The inflammation is actually protecting you. That's why there's inflammation. Lots of things are made to protect you. For example, when you eat these carbohydrates and all these fake foods, whatever, you get a layer of fat from eating them. Well, it's protecting you. It's buffering the toxins in your body. It's a buffer zone, this fat and whatever. That's why it's doing that. Your body's doing specific things to protect you. So the doctor, again, they give you these anti-inflammatories and then you die. Get it? You die early. There's no more protection.
that they get right that I agree on.
It's like high cholesterol. You have high cholesterol because it's protecting you. That's what it's doing. It's an antioxidant.
And sugar is a poison. That I'll agree with.
Sugar is a poison.
Right. I'll agree with that part. That's the one thing they get right. Protein good, refined sugar bad. I can get behind.
So now he admits protein good, refined sugar bad. Okay. So what do carbohydrates do? They convert to sugar.
That part. The rest of it, garbage philosophy.
These vegetables, what do? Sugar. What's fruits? Sugar. So Blaha just admitted it. Blaha admitted it. He admits everything in his. He's contradictory. He admits everything in his videos. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, friends. So what you think about that? Like, subscribe, support the channel. Blaha.